Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
The leagues have been played, the cups have been lifted, and now 32 teams begin their march towards the national championships here in the UPSL. Heated Tennessee Tempo versus Dalton United action coming up right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ASMG's coverage of the UPSL National Championships. My name is Steven Johnson. I am joined here by Larry Weaver. We took a bit of a trip up 75 and so out of our hometown of Atlanta all the way up to beautiful, just south of Nashville, Tennessee. And we have a beautiful pitch ready for the beautiful game here. Like we said, Dalton United, champions of the Georgia League, and newly renamed Tennessee Tempo, champions and realistically dynasty holders here in Kentucky, Tennessee. Both teams beating MLS Academy sides to make it to here, but of course only one team can move forward. Larry, how are we doing here tonight?
Doing fantastic. We have two teams that are on a little bit of a different trajectory. Dalton, their first meeting in the Premier Division. They've been on a rocket ship ever since they came into the UPSL. And like you said, Tennessee Tempo, a team that's been around and have been at the top of the mountain for some time.
Yeah, speaking of which, for those of you who may not be specifically Tennessee Tempo fans, the name Tennessee Tempo may sound new to you, and that is because it is a bit of a rebrand. This is the next generation, really, of Beeman United. And if you follow UPSL, you know who Beeman United are. Have made it into the national championship multiple times, of course, did make it to the national finals not too long ago. And then, of course, they are one of the most prolific UPSL teams when it comes to the U.S. Open Cup. I believe even this season, they were one of only two UPSL teams to make it all the way through the qualifying rounds and into the Open Cup proper. I believe they were knocked down the first round, but still such a mountain to climb for a team that's got so much room left to grow here in the UPSL. Is certainly an established name, but as you mentioned, Dalton, they're kind of the hot new thing in Atlanta, Georgia, and are definitely lacking maybe a little bit of the history and really the grandeur that a team like Tennessee Tempos brings.
Yes, but the one thing about Dalton United is they are a core unit that knows how to get the job done. They scored 63 goals in their inaugural season in Division I in the fall. This season, 33 goals. They were in the 10 matches that they played, they were 7-3-0. When you look at Tennessee Tempo in their 10 matches, they were 8-1-1. Very similar. 33 goals to 32 goals. These two teams are very identical.
Yeah, and the similarities do not stop there. Let's take a quick look back at last week and see what happened to get both these teams here. Obviously, if you're a fan of ASMG, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, on slightly different digs this time, but here on the UPSL channel. But if you remember back to last week, Dalton United won an absolute thriller at home up against Atlanta United Academy, where they were 10 men down to 10 men, but still able to win 3-2 against their opponents. Did take them an extra time, but did get the job done. Exactly similar story here for the Tennessee Tempo. Came in as the favorites off of the regular season, did have the #1 spot with the MLS Academy team in the 2 spot, meeting up in the finals once again. And again, in a thriller of a match, the Tennessee Tempo were able to best their MLS counterpart right here at home. So they've got to be feeling really good. These are two teams that really do know how to take advantage of the crowd. And given that we are about a 3-hour drive north of Dalton, this is definitely Tennessee Tempo's home. This is their turf. They're going to be defending this one to the bitter end. And for me, given their prestige, given the kind of players they got under them, and given the grandeur of the club, I almost got to say they're coming in today feeling pretty confident in their chances to making it through to the round of 16.
And we've seen in numerous matches calling for Dalton down in the UPSL Georgia Conference. Being the underdog is not something that they discourage. They like being the underdog because they prove a point, and they've done it time and time again this season.
Yeah, and I think it was an interesting matchup last week for both these teams, and we're kind of talking about what are the intangibles. There's that untangible, just the hunger of the team that maybe we didn't quite see out of Atlanta United Academy. We did see out of Dalton. Well, looking back at the match footage, Tennessee Tempo had that hunger that St. Louis City didn't necessarily have. So two very equally matched teams. I definitely think that when you look at the overall experience level, I mean, like, just look at the size of the players as they come out here for the lineups. As they do have Dalton United, they'll be sporting the red kits, black and red kits tonight. Tempo are in the red kits, so I guess look at the black of Dalton to differentiate the two for you. But they have the more experienced player, and in a knockout cup competition on the national level like this, that is exactly what you rely on to get you through up against a team like Dalton that are just hungry and trying to prove themselves.
Yes, and when you look at experience, and especially for Tennessee Tempo, look no further than Kwadwo Poku, a player that has been all the way to the top here in the U.S., playing in the MLS, and then you have a younger squad of Dalton United.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Dalton, Georgia is so well renowned for its prestige in the high school soccer area. Like, a lot of these players have been, state champions, fought for national championships at that level, but there's just something above that they perhaps haven't quite had that experience at just yet. This will be a fantastic place for them to gain that experience, but if they want to walk away from this game with a win, they're going to have to earn it every single minute they're out against the likes of Tennessee Tempo. They have the clutch gene, but that gene runs deep here in Tennessee too.
Yes, and when we talk about this tournament, this is what it's all for. Win and go home from this point on. Where the Final Four is, we'll find out soon enough once the UPSL announces it. Beeman United, or I should say Tennessee Tempo, they've been there. They know what that Final Four is like. Dalton United, this is their first experience.
Yeah, and that's where I think this comes down to for these teams. I think Tennessee Tempo, obviously, this is going to be very interesting to see how they match up against a very young, a very hungry team like Dalton United. I think that they got to be coming to this tournament as one of the overall favorites. Maybe not the odds-on absolute favorite to win the tournament, but they're in the conversation. I don't know if Dalton have earned that yet for me. If they were to walk away with a win tonight, I think they do. But likewise, I think that a statement victory here at home in the first round of the national championships for Tennessee Tempo would go a long way to securing themselves at the top of that pyramid. Speaking of the pyramid, we did have an announcement, I believe it was either yesterday or today, from UPSL. At the top of that mountain, the national champion this season will be earning a first-round spot into the U.S. Open Cup. And that's not first round of qualifiers. That's the first round proper.
Yes, and that is a massive, massive piece of news for the UPSL. It shows that this league is growing and is making its mark here in U.S. soccer.
Yeah, and that certainly wouldn't be any new territory for the likes of Tennessee Tempo, but I'm sure they'd absolutely love a bye directly into that first round. It would be new territory for Dalton. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break as we go for the national anthem. We'll be right back. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time for kickoff. We have Tennessee Tempo here hosting Dalton United all the way up here at Siegel Complex. Beautiful grounds. Larry, I'm not used to looking at the pitch and seeing grass with no American football lines on it. It's definitely a refreshing experience.
Yes, it's something that, we kind of get spoiled a bit down in Atlanta. We're used to seeing those turf fields. We're not used to seeing the grass, but we also see a lot of those football lines, which that we don't want to see. So it's a kind of give and take.
Yeah, it certainly is. And no team is going to know this pitch better than the Tennessee Tempo. So they'll be looking to use all their advantages both on and off the pitch to secure a victory up against Dalton. And now that we're here with the joint cause, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into these rosters. Biggest one for me being Dalton United, primarily because they have 2 players missing this week. The first one is, as I go through my sheets, Fischk. Was the captain in their last matchup versus Atlanta United, was pulled off in the 9th minute due to injury from his right wing back position. And then, of course, Saldana, number 23, who slotted into that left-sided center back, he was taken off pretty early on as well, I believe in the 45th minute, or in the 40th minute, for that red card. So he is unavailable. He is on suspension today. So that is going to be changing around how Dalton line up. Now, we haven't gotten confirmation as to the exact formation they're using, but they did bring in another center back to replace the missing wing back. So with Guerrero and Medina, by the way, getting the start up top this time over the likes of Sanchez, who has moved a bit further back in the formation here today. He's actually listed as the defender too, potentially taking up that wide defender position. But I could see Dalton coming out here still with a 3 at the back. I could see them coming out in a 4-4-2. They have options, but then it comes down to a conversation we had before the game, Larry, which is how much do you just stick to what you know and how much do you adapt to what your situation is and what your opponents play?
Exactly, and also you have to think about the third factor in this match, and that is the temperature. Currently, right now, 96 degrees with a heat index, feels like 106, and that's not even on the turf.
Yeah,
so it's really going to be a factor. I definitely expect to see a hydration break somewhere around the 30th minute.
Excuse me as I open up the window immediately to see a horde of wasps there. Bit of a surprise here as we get ready for kickoff, but it'll be interesting. I think the likes Tempos, they have a bit more of a structured system. They've got the 2 at the top. They've got a solid midfield 3. They've got the wing backs. They're playing that back 3 very similar to what Dalton tried to do last week. It'll be interesting to see what the primary focus for Tempo is early in this game, especially given that Dalton spent so much of their final trying to control the midfield. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to do that. I don't think they're exactly winning any aerial battles if you look at the pitch currently. But we'll have to see. And ladies and gentlemen, it's underway here. Dalton getting the initial kickoff away at Tennessee Tempo. Controlling this one around the back. We'll be learning a bit about the formation as we continue. Sanchez on the ball. He's happy to play that one around. All the way over to the far side. Toro, one of the, I think, the best performers in that last week of matches up against Atlanta United. He's going to be playing a big role tonight in the defense. Perez down that right side now finds Guerrero. Guerrero, the Golden Boot winner for the Georgia division, cleared away by Tempo, now finding its way to the other side of the pitch. Tempo driving that forward. It's Nini chasing that one down, shown out by Villatoro, but should be enough to earn the Tempo a throw in from a deep position. Any sort of set piece could be really dangerous here for the Tempo because, as we've been alluding to, I think that a little bit more of the experience sometimes comes with a little bit more of the height advantage for the Tempo. Good defending out of
and for Dalton, they've already got to feel a sigh of relief. They made it through the first minute of the match without conceding a goal like they did last week against Atlanta United.
Yeah, well, they gave away I think it was like the first attack of the game. They take down Wilson on that right flank from Atlanta United and then give away the yellow card. So, yes, I agree with you hardly. They're moving in the right direction, but it's certainly not going to be anywhere near enough to get over the Tempo. Tempo pressing pretty aggressively up the pitch. Another whistle will keep us delayed in our play here. Antonini Sliding in at the top of the formation. Looks like off his back we've got Espoko, number 10 on his right side. Number 7 Lopez slotting into that attacking midfield position for now, maybe playing as that second striker in the to the top pivot. Driving down that right side, Guerrero. Really didn't see a lot of him in the finals versus Atlanta United Academy. We'll be curious to see whether or not Tempo give him that same level of keep this guy out of the game respect, or whether they find other targets and Guerrero might be able to get a little bit more on the ball. Aggressive defending will lead to a Tempo free kick. Into midfield, there's their captain, Kei Poku. This is a player with MLS and international camp experience, so certainly when you're looking for who's going to be the general on the pitch, both leadership-wise and distribution-wise, keep your eyes on the man with the armband for Tempo. Once again, that's number 8, Kei Poku. Has spent a little bit of time with NYFC. I've bounced around a few other levels as well, so we're happy to have him lending his experience and service to the teams of UPSL. But right now, he's not being a teacher. He's looking to add some more silverware to the collection. Dalton very patiently building up right now. So far, I've tried to exploit that far side a little bit, looking for the near side. Can't quite get past the defending. That's number 15, Badai, who slotted on this right side. Ball over the top, curves, just not enough to find the feet of the wide man out there. Bit of a miscontrol from number 3. That's Sanchez. Means that's ball, instead of going out for a goal kick to Mendez, number 99, the goalkeeper from Dalton, that ends up being a corner kick coming in. And we can finally start to see what this Tempo attack can do. Lopez over the ball.
I think it's one of those where it's better to just get it out and then reset.
Yeah. I mean, he chested it. He was looking for the goalkeeper to pick it up, but it went in doubt, kick it out. Ball coming around. Looks like it's going right on goal, just over the bar. Perhaps the height of the Tempo player potentially coming in a little bit against them, but referee.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah, about to say, referee's got a better vantage point on this than we do, so it is going to go out for another corner kick. Another opportunity. A lot of Tempo players just swarming the front of the net. Badai tries to find something here on the back post. Medina trying to come in as well. Mendez gets the punch away, doesn't go far enough. Bouncing in the box. Good clearance off the line as Dalton keep the clean sheet for now. Long shot effort. Looks like it took a deflection on the way through, but referee is going to call that as a goal kick for Dalton. Very dangerous set pieces so far from Tempo, but good clearance. I believe that was Saldana, number 17, who plays the absolute hero at the back post as a defender and is able to keep that ball out. Mendez pushes the team all the way up the pitch for Dalton. Can't quite find Medina. Very rough challenge in the back from Villalobos, number 18. I feel like Dalton are going to have to tap into a little bit of their physicality tonight here. I think Jason Longshore said it best before the Atlanta United matchup, and he said that there's just a certain grittiness, there's a certain willingness to play a little dirty. You got to find. Great ball through. Oh, just doesn't hang up in time. Mendez able to see that one through, but Antonini takes up a really nice position.
We'll take a look at that chance just a few moments ago. You see that ball come in, headed out, cleared away.
Yeah, it makes its way all the way to that back post, and it's just a bouncing ball in the box. And, you know, at the end of the day, especially in Elimination Cup soccer, you just want to get a ball anyway. You want to get a goal any way you can. Ball played up once again, seemingly won by Tempo. Dalton getting scrappy. Tempo able to maintain possession. Good pass back. Potentially looking to play it around. Dalton high press. Bit of a patent of their style of play. Tempo find the room on the far side. It looks like they're looking to pick up the tempo. Poku lays it off, played all the way back outside. Tempo still in possession. Quick passing, ball all the way over the top. That's just not in the same zip code as Tempo. Definitely looking to play that kind of switching of the field style of through ball that, if it lands, could be devastating. Very safe play coming out from number 1 between the sticks for Tempo. That's Rodriguez. May have had a little bit of time to control it, but, you know, we just said it before. When in doubt, kick it out. Say no harm, no foul in that.
With this being such a knockout, you're going to see more of a chess match tonight.
Yeah.
Not wanting to take too many chances.
Yeah, interesting play from both sides. I like Tempo's approach a little bit more. I'm not quite convinced so far with Dalton electing to play the long ball. I think they were best. Dalton are typically best when they have the ability to play through their opponent, overcrowd that midfield, and just really work that ball around. I kind of try to be nice about it. They're shorter than their opponents here tonight. And I worry that the long ball in the air matchup, sure, it's in a safe place to turn it over, but I'd be curious to how many opportunities they're going to find. Or if, like you mentioned, maybe this is just the first move of a chess game. You know, get them to sit back, then come in underneath. Ball down this left side. Some room for Perez. He stood up. Plays it back into the central midfield. Poku, not quite able to find it. Saldana on the ball, tries to play it out wide. Rodriguez falls way off. Oh, what an opportunity. Rodriguez almost goes to meet it. Doesn't quite get there in time. He lays back, and the shot, I don't know whether it was a shot or a through ball, but either way, it was really close to finding something. Ball played in almost immediately. And Dalton, they've got a bit of a scent of blood in the water. Antonini still trying to be an absolute menace to this Dalton backline. You're definitely getting the feeling that if he keeps this up, he's going to find it sooner rather than later. Dalton, ball to in top of the box. A little bit over top.
Dalton really found success last week, really pressing Atlanta United in that second half.
I think it was in the first half, too. I think it was, especially when they were still at 11 men. They do have this, like we mentioned, this grittiness, this ferocity, this willingness to sacrifice to get the ball. Now, we just need to make sure that sacrifice doesn't quite include a red card, because that may be a sacrifice too far. But how Dalton play is that they're not the most expert chess players on the board. They're not going to try to tiki-taka, manipulate your opponent to find space in behind. They're going to try to isolate guys one-on-one and then use their dribblers to try to get around you, especially Perez in that midfield has been really good at that this season, just really able to hold down the fort there. But potentially they're looking at this opposition midfield. We got Adoro, number 18, Amandi, number 5, and then Poku, of course, number 8 in that central mid. And that may be a tall task to ask your opponents. Dalton win the ball back here. Near side, laying it off. Antonini tries to take a step forward. Ball played out from Dalton. Kind of wonder, still an interesting choice of kits here. I think there's just enough, but I wouldn't be shocked if there was a bit of a misunderstanding of who's on whose team at this point. I think they'll work it out as the game goes on. But a little sloppy coming out here from both teams. High temperatures, too, tend to do that. So we'll see once these players, pardon the, really, I forget what I was saying. That was a nice turn. Very crisp play coming out. Now here down to the right side. Badai tries to play that long ball over. Badai, number 15, listed as the defender, has really been working this overlap here. I think he's one of the wide center backs in the back three, so certainly Tempo are really trying to push this very fluid transition from defense to attack. And again, as we're only 11 minutes into this match, I'm really excited to see what Tempos have to show us this match. Back to the short build-up for Dalton. Driving through the midfield. Medina finds himself in a wide position. Tempo all around him. Room to switch this to the other flank. Just fed into the midfield. Saldana tries to find that ball over the top. On his way. Oh, almost headed over the goalkeeper. Adoro. I don't think he was exactly on the same page as Rodriguez, because Rodriguez steps up to claim that. Adoro heads it That almost would have been over the goalkeeper, but very good on Rodriguez to keep his team in this one. And this is looking a little scrappy both ways.
That's one of those instances where it's better to be lucky than good.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, about to say, we don't necessarily need FIFA play of the week moments. We need, balls in the back of the net. How you get there, at the end of the day, no one really cares. As long as the ball gets in the back of their net and stays out of yours. Big ball over the top, Tempo pushing down this left flank. Penagos battles on that far side. Battle won by Dalton. And Mendez will get the reset for the goal kick. Ball reset, almost a very dangerous ball played there. Turned over almost immediately. Playing through the midfield. Tempo, aggressive position. Out on the right flank, playing it back inside. Doro finds his way up. Espoku's dropping it a little bit. Typically he plays as a forward. Really been taking up that number 9 role tonight and very fancy with the footwork so far. Playing that up. Antonini dispossessed. Dalton begin the counter charge, and Antonini just leaves the hands out there a little bit too long, and Dalton going to be able to pick up that free kick.
And last spring's campaign with Tennessee Tempo, when they made it to the round of the Final Four, there were several matches where they came from behind. So Dalton can't get comfortable if they find a lead.
Yeah. Oh, good ball top the box. That's Guerrero one-on-one inside. Called for the offsides. Would have been an absolutely beautiful chance, but a very tightly organized defensive line for the Tennessee Tempo prevent the Georgia Golden Boot winner from having his really first chance of the night.
That was just on the line.
Yeah, but no, solid point about Tennessee Tempo. They're comfortable playing ahead. They're comfortable playing behind. I mean, jokingly enough, a lot of Dalton's clutch moments have also come from behind. So I guess the real question is, if both teams are the kind of come-from-behind warriors, does the game then favor the person who scores second? And what do you do when you got two underdogs up against each other? I mean, I think currently in this match, I'd still say Tempo are probably strong favorites, not only on the pitch, but especially here with a very nicely packed crowd here at Siegel Complex. Definitely one of the nicer UPSL facilities I've seen thus far. And if there's one thing we saw in Dalton in that finals matchup, sometimes it is the crowd that can get you back into a match, even when you're down a man. Trying to look outside there. Unable to find his way through traffic. That's Badea. Unable to make his way around Sanchez. Tempo. Happy to take this one into the backfield. Odoro out to the wing. Nice ball into the midfield. A bit of a confusing control there. Looked like Antonini was already on his way to ground, unable to keep possession. And now here comes Dalton off the race the other way. Look at this wide position. Oh, he just doesn't pick his head up. And it's going to be a free kick. Bit of a trip up there against Perez. I think they just saw, there was an absolutely beautiful run on this near side. I just don't think that Perez picked his head up in time. Sanchez, number 6, just had acres of space here on the wing. But Tempo certainly doing a great job of putting pressure on what is typically a very strong Dalton midfield. Well, don't find it the first time, find it the second time. Sanchez able to control the ball here. He's in that corner. Elects to go across the box all the way to the other side. Maintained, passed around, far side of the box. It's just ripped. Medena's in, and Dalton United, they take the lead here in Tennessee. It's 1-0 to Georgia's team.
And exactly what we said, that Dalton United is one of those teams that if you let them have an opportunity, they will exploit it. What a goal. Let's take a look at that one more time. You can see here, as that ball comes into the box.
Yeah, it's just sloppy play, unfortunately, from that back two, and it just falls perfectly for Medina. Medina's not exactly he's not the fastest guy. He's not the guy who's going to be making box-to-box runs, but he has a great understanding of where to be off the ball. And it goes across the box once, headed away poorly, box across the box twice, and then Medina just with the gifted opportunity to put his team ahead. As you mentioned, Tennessee Tempo are nothing if not a team that can fight back from any odds, but certainly a nice start here for Dalton, and certainly I think Tempo got to figure out this defense a little bit. They've looked a little shaky so far, and I don't think that's going to boost their confidence.
I was just about to say I was hoping that we were going to see as much fireworks on the pitch as we're going to see off it this weekend, and Dalton certainly has lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, it's definitely interesting to see. But I think these are really, as much as that was really smart play from Dalton to get the ball across the box multiple times, I would credit it more. Oh, no. Viatoro shown the yellow card. And as far as players you do not want to see getting sent off for Dalton, Viatoro, the maestro of the defense here for Dalton, is got to be top of that list.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this foul here. Definitely solid foul right there into the back.
Yeah.
Gets the yellow card.
Yeah, takes a shot on Oduro. I mean, I think a yellow card's the right call there from the referee. So now it's just something that Dalton are going to have to keep in the back of their minds, as we are still only 19 minutes in here to the first half of this UPSL National Championship round of 32 match here between Tennessee Tempo and Dalton United. Tennessee Tempo, ball outside of the box, looking for an in-swinger. A lot of members at the back post here. Ball up, headed away, not far enough. Rips a shot from the outside of the area, but it just takes a bend to the outside. So far, Tennessee Tempo, it looks like they're still trying to find their range there from the edge of the box, but it still looks like really good technique.
Yeah, we look at the replay here. Nice free kick, good distance. He's able to get it up, get it down, but cleared out by the defense, and then just kind of hacked at it there.
Yeah. Also, a little bit of a discovery we made while that goal was being celebrated from Dalton United. It looks like Dalton's actually traveled exceptionally well for a team that's had to drive about 3 to 3.5 hours through, albeit some absolutely beautiful scenery, to come all the way up here just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. So they've definitely got a bit of a supportive section here as well, but I'm sure that Tennessee Tempo's faithful will definitely be wanting to get their chance to pop off here. And if Tennessee can just find that connection all the way up to Antonini, who really seems to be the connecting tissue in that front line, they may have something to celebrate, but they're going to have to earn it. Dalton haven't looked perfect, but they've looked a little bit more solid. Finding this room down the left side, not quite able to find it. That was, once again, Sanchez looking for something there. Finding his man overlapping on the left side. Unable to find it. Tempo take a very conservative goal kick out to Gibbons. Driving up the pitch. Going to ground. Going to play through. Antonini able to lay that off.
Lucky he didn't receive a yellow or foul for that.
So,
he just lost his feet.
Yeah, Saldana down on the ground. He's going to get up eventually. But, yeah, definitely very rough challenge. Poco just gets played through to some very happy chance there from the Dalton Sports. It's not every day you get to watch one of your players go up against a former MLS, an internationally capped player, and put the ball through the legs. So I'm sure that's going to take a few of their fancies. But unfortunately for Dalton, that doesn't really come to anything.
That's at least for the next week or two. You can say that you nutmegged Poku.
Yeah, keep your eyes here, though. Ooh, foul going to be called. Antonini looked like he was finding his way through on goal. Also something to note, Poku, after that play, is limping a little bit. Doesn't look like anything serious, but certainly, we kind of mentioned Viatoro's definitely not someone you want to see hit the bench early for Dalton. I would like to raise that to the power of 10 and to say that Poku is not somebody you want to see heading off here from the Tempo. Ball played to this near side. Tempo able to control it, but turned over. Sanchez playing that ball up. Here's Medina, the goal scorer. Lays it off. Driving through Perez. Unable to gain control. That's Espoku. Once again, really been a bit of a magician with the footwork. Poku with maybe a little bit of a point to prove there. Just gallops through the midfield. Able to overcome 4, but the 5th man is too much for him. And this absolute battle to the death in the midfield continues. Strong step there from Villatoro. And he needs to remember he is on the yellow card.
But also remember that even though that Dalton United is up, they really haven't utilized their star golden boot leader, Fernando Guerrera. He really hasn't touched the ball so far, number 7.
Yeah, and I think that's something that teams adapt for going against him. But, I mean, realistically, he will come into play at some point in this game. But if you're a Dalton player, if you're a Dalton fan, you don't care if he doesn't touch the ball. As long as you're able to utilize him to drag players out of position, that opens it up. Some of the best strikers are better off the ball players than on the ball players. So definitely not saying that Guerrero's not doing anything tonight, but he's just playing a little bit more of a quiet role so far. But we'll see if that's able to continue. Likewise, even though I think we've had a few more touches of the ball for him, similarly, Antonini, number 17 up top, has really looked dangerous so far. And I feel like we're just that one pass away from seeing him unlock something here for the tempo. And the question is, who is going to unlock him? Poco and Poco look like the obvious contenders here, but we'll see. Outside the boot pass, straight to that far post. Doesn't quite get ahead on it. Bedaya tries to put a ball across the box, ends up putting it behind goal. Dalton.
And you saw a bit of a relief come off the keeper as that ball went out because it had a good angle.
Yeah, number 6, Sanchez, gets a header on it, doesn't quite put it far enough wide, and Badai just unable to turn anything out of it. Dalton are pretty good at recovering from their mistakes. Like I said, neither team has been perfect here tonight so far, but I think Dalton has been better been better at recovering from their mistakes. No yellow card yet. Antonini very clearly not happy with the level of physicality being shown to him. That did look kind of on the border of what would either be a foul or just kind of contact. But you can clearly tell that part of Dalton's build-up to this game has been basically putting a picture of Antonini on a dartboard and getting all the defenders together and saying, stop this man. They just have to make sure they do so while staying within the confines of the UPSL rulebook. Badai once again finding himself in this wide position, able to turn around his man. Poku, good first touch. Ball available in the top of the box. Gotta be careful. That looks like a potential penalty shout. Nothing just yet. Ball falls all the way to the outside, bouncing around. Lays it off for Poku. Poku not quite able to get on the end of it. Great rotational flick from Dalton to get out of danger. And what a robbery it just feels like Dalton just pulled off there with multiple dangerous chances in the box and a potential call for a penalty there. I mean, it's just never a good look when one of your defenders is on the ground in the penalty area. Would have been a little bit of a run back from last week with a silly foul given away. Ball played through. Really well played from Tempo. Finding area at the edge of the box. Rips one from the outside. And, you just got to feel that something is coming here for the Tempo.
And Dalton is a team that's not afraid to play physical.
That is an understatement, but yes, very much so. That was Lopez there that rips the shot once again. I think their long shots, they're still kind of finding their range here on tonight for the Tennessee Tempo. But, I mean, certainly with more than a half and change to play, there's plenty of time for them to turn this one around. Another long ball played here from Mendez. Initially controlled by Tempo. Second ball won by Dalton. Interesting slide technique, but it's effective at the end of the day. Badai able to play that right wing very well. Tempo taking some time in the build-up here, trying to pull Dalton out of this midfield block. Finding their way out to that far side. Played through. Finds Poku. Poku plays across. Oh, unable to find something. Rolls to Mendez.
And that shows a lot of confidence of your keeper.
Yeah.
To be able to let that ball run like that.
Yeah, I mean, you had multiple members just breathing down the necks.
He needs to be careful with that ball. We saw what happened with the Atlanta United match where the 6-second rule came into play.
Yeah, I don't think we're far enough in the match for that to count just yet, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, uninitiated, the second to last week of the season when Dalton and Atlanta played each other, Atlanta United were leading the game 2-1 in the dying moments of that game. Atlanta United give away just a silly free kick off of a time violation. Ball to the other side. Dalton, they've got to defend against one tempo, lays it off to Lopez. Lopez driving down the left side, back heel, unable to find its way through. Lopez back out to the side once again. Penagos tries to play that across, unable to find Poku. Step over, unsuccessful. Into the box, and it's put away. Finally, number 17 from Dalton Saldana. Okay, just to quickly finish story time there. Delay of game call comes in from Atlanta United goalkeeper in that match, gives a free kick that Dalton then win. And they get the free kick, they score the free kick, and that's actually the 1 point that gave Dalton the league title, as they would, of course, take that title over Atlanta United by 1 point. So would certainly be some comedic, cosmic justice, I guess, for Atlanta fans. But ball top of the box, Mendez, he goes up top, doesn't quite get a good clean hit on it. Retained in the defense from tempo. Gibbons lays it out, not quite able to find it. That is a messy tackle coming out. Yellow card caution awarded this time. It's going the way of the tempo. Don't quite see the number on the back there. We'll keep our eyes peeled. But yeah, it just looks like a late challenge attempt ends up catching the member of Dalton United, and it looks like he's taking a hot second to get back up. So that's the left-sided center back, number 16.
Yeah.
So that's Garcia. I haven't mentioned too much of his name tonight just yet. He will be the one picking up the yellow card first of the night for tempo. Once again, not a game stopper by any ways, but as we're still in the first half, definitely something that the coaches are going to have to take into consideration. Free kick taken from Dalton, playing that all the way up the pitch. Mid to miscontrol, Guerrero is trying to get on the end of it. Guerrero receives it. He's just driving infield. Good defensive slide challenge from Dalton to take that away. Antonini. Oh, what a flick from Poku. Can he find his way onto it? No, Villatoro. It was that was as beautiful a self-flick as they come, but Villatoro able. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but really well played from Dalton here. We're definitely getting a showcase. Sanchez plays it once to the left side. He's onside. Good sliding tackle effort once again, and what a match we are being treated to right now, Larry.
Fantastic end-to-end work.
Ball edge of the box, played back. This is a dangerous spot from Dalton. Rips a shot just too high. Saldana unable to keep that one on target as both teams in the first half still seem to need a little bit of time to get their sights right with those long challenges. But what a passage of play we just got. It felt like one of those classic schoolyard, oh, you did something cool? Now watch this. As we got like Poku with, the beautiful turn flick. What I hope was an intentional roll through here from Dalton to get the ball over to Sanchez. But wow, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting your money's worth out tonight, especially because this is a free broadcast. You're definitely getting your money's worth.
This is the type of competition that you get here at the UPSL, one of the fastest growing leagues here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, so much on the line here tonight for these two teams. Dalton, of course, looking to make some waves in their first ever UPSL National Championship berth. Tennessee Tempos here at home, they have a reputation to uphold. They have been further in this tournament than I'd say just about nearly anyone left in the event. Oh, what a shot! A mishandled attempt! What a golazo coming through from S. Poku! Oh, we gotta watch that again.
Just a bit of a mistake by the defense leads to an unbelievable goal. Look at this here. Ball gets sent in. Nice turn in the midfield. Defender up in the air. One-time volley. Just unbelievable.
Take
goal.
a bow.
Take a bow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same build-up, too. It's just a silly mistake from the defender, Villalobos, number 18, who tries to go for the volley clearance, puts it up in the air, and it's just almost like a second nature to a player like Espoko, number 10. He just sees the ball in the air. Like, he's got to have ice flowing through his veins at that point, knows how to set up, goes for that, like, flying one-footed volley, and just rockets it past the keeper. That's if we gave style points, that goal will be worth like 3. But unfortunately for the Tennessee Tempo, it's not. But thankfully for the Tennessee Tempo, it is enough to bring them level with only 12 minutes left to go in the first half. And ladies and gentlemen, what a game.
And just
as the UPSL National Championship, this is the best start you could ask for.
And just a great individual effort there to one-time that into the goal.
Yeah. Dalton, win possession in the midfield. Great pickup. Unable to get anything further with that. That was Guerrero putting in a little bit of an extra shift there as the forward. Ball played down this far side. Played quickly. Picked up by Medina.
And I was going to say before that goal,
Down this right side. Oh, just poked away.
that Dalton has to say to themselves, why not us? And then that goal happened. Because
I mean, you can't think that far ahead, though. This game is going to be, it's going to come down to the last minute of the game. This is clearly one where both these teams are capable. We talk about it a lot during these UPSL matches, that sometimes it just takes a moment of brilliance. These are two teams with a PhD in brilliance. They can whip it out when they need to. The clutch gene runs deep here in the South, and it's showing. Dalton controlling the ball once again. Tempo's raising the tempo a little bit. A bit more of a midfield press. Dalton comfortable possessing for now. Both Medina and Guerrero are pressed up very high here. Saldana on the ball, passing that up to Perez. Perez, one of the main midfield maestros of Dalton. He's going to win himself a free kick. Once again, has Sanchez, number 6, on the left side, picked up eventually by Dalton, or by Tempo, rather. Villatoro wide on that right side. Careful here from Villalobos. Mendez has to play that ball. Bit of a jump. Good ball played up top, and now we're in dangerous territory for Dalton. Cutting in across, finds Medina. Medina, where is that ball going? Unable to find the connecting pass. As Tempo take control once again, as General Puku commanding the team from that holding midfield position, finds Poku, number 10, on that right side. Does he have another moment of brilliance? He's cutting it inside. Do we see a left-footed attempt? No, lays it off for Poku. Top of the box, lays it off for Poku once again. Shot taken. Oh, it's always hard to find the second shot. When you had that good of a first goal, it's hard to follow it up. So maybe, get that out of the system, get our expectations back to realistic so he can dazzle us again. That's the play there. But phenomenal link up between Poku and Poku. Great connection between two of them. Good, quick one-touch passing to open up that opportunity. Mendez, 9 minutes left to go in the first half, plus stoppage time. Pulled up in the midfield. Dangerous breakaway. Here's Poku on the ball. Has an option to the right, has an option to the left. Finds his way. Antonini. Oh, he cues up. Not quite a shot. That's a terrible clearance. Good save from Mendez, but that's not enough. Tennessee Tempo just gifted a goal. Oh, what a poor defensive showing from Dalton, but what a clutch put away from the Tempo here at home. Tennessee Tempo lead 2-1.
We take a look here again at the defense of Dalton. A little bit lack there. Give them another opportunity, and he will take it, and he will put it into the back of the net. Number 7, it looked like.
7, yeah. Yeah, that was well taken. I believe you're right there. That looked like Lopez. It reminds me a lot of the Medina goal. Just in the right place at the right time, but when you're an attacking player, that's 90% of the job. It's not the 50,000 step overs. It's not the 5 million mile shot. It's just being where you're needed and where the ball's going to be well taken there. And it was a mishandling of the ball by Saldana, number 17. I kind of get it. He's like, his body's falling away from the ball, so he can't really get a driven clearance on it. But he ends up putting it in the worst spot possible. Beautiful save out of Mendez. Potentially could have tried to put it a little bit further wide, but really good reaction save. And unfortunately for Dalton, their defense lets them down. And thankfully for Tempos, they just absolutely jump on the opportunity. And now on a 2-goal streak, I'm sure they'd love to bring us to 3-1 before getting to halftime here. But Tennessee Tempo, in the last few minutes, they've just taken control of this game.
Coach Kiko for Dalton will have to talk to the boys at halftime and see if he can't find a way to unlock this defense of Tennessee Tempo. I
don't even know if it's – I think how you have to unlock the defense is unlock the midfield. They really haven't gotten the ball up to their aggressive players. Tempo have been doing a really good job of compressing – almost playing a Dalton style of compressing the ball carrier for Dalton, limiting the option forwards. And the only way you're going to get that ball to to your attacking line is either with some beautiful skill or with a phenomenal pass. And you can't count on that all the time. No matter how talented these Dalton players are, and they are talented, you can't rely on somebody, overperforming every single time. So I think the game's very well in reach for Dalton, but I think you're right. I think Kiko's going to have some questions he needs to answer.
When you also see how that red card is such a factor in the defense for Dalton United.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Viratoro on the ball. Oh, yeah, I agree. I think it was the midfielder. It was Saldana, the left-sided center back. Because, yeah, you're right. They're not playing with their absolute first-choice 3 defenders tonight. I originally thought you were talking about Viratoro, who is sitting on a yellow card. Certainly is a consideration as well, but, unfortunately, you got to play the game you have, not the game you want. And in this situation, Dalton, they took a lot of battle scars to get here, both physically and, player-wise. But, champions win. Tempo, they know what it means to be a top-tier competitor. They know that no matter what 11 they got on the pitch, they need to win. And that's a lesson that Dalton are going to have to show that they know here tonight if they want to come back in this contest. Good header. Phenomenal target man play so far tonight from Antonini. Speaking of which, Antonini driving down that left side. Great ball and cross into the middle of the box, but Mendez able to get on that one first. Challenged here in the midfield. Great touch coming around there from number 15, Badai, who has been making an absolute meal of this right-sided wing-back position in the best way possible.
Tempo really starting to find those spaces in between the backs.
Yeah, they played very conservatively the first few minutes, but now they're finding that connective tissue, using Antonini as that, first touch target man, and they have so many great passing options he can play it to. Medina, edge of the box, has options to his inside. Here comes the cavalry. Sanchez, wide overlap there. He's going to be played the ball down this left side. Medina on the back post available. Trying to play that ball through. Can't quite find out. He's alone on the ball. Shot taken just outside. Bouncing along the ground. Sanchez tries to level us up here in Siegel Complex, but is unable to do so, as with just about 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
First real opportunity by Dalton in a while.
Yeah.
Decides to take it long. Decent shot on goal.
Yeah, and I think that last attack really shows you the difference in the final third play out of both these teams. Tennessee Tempo, they get so tight in that final third. They play the quick 1-2 passes. Dalton, much more reliant on the space. Sanchez finds Medina. He's on sides, I believe. Has options top of the box, but so many defenders. Can he make something? Right-footed swing. Top of the box, controlled by Guerrero. Laid off. There's number 3. Takes the shot. Just a bit outside. Sanchez given the ball by Guerrero. And unfortunately, the magic golden boot touch doesn't quite rub off. And it's once again another dangerous attack from Dalton, but no dice.
Yeah, Sanchez, the superstar from the match last week with Atlanta United, takes the rip just over the bar.
Yeah. It's a bit of an awkward position. You can see with his positioning, he doesn't really get the ball away from his foot. He doesn't get to step into it. It's kind of a full standing effort. You'd hope he does a little bit better than that, but that's certainly not one of those shots you really practice in training a lot. Antonini, once again, smells blood in the water. He's the big man for Tennessee Tempo tonight. Dalton controlling around the back, have options wide. Still choosing to play a lot on this left side. Somebody fell over there. That was Saldana. Hope he's all right, but a little bit of a different surface than they're used to playing. Grass certainly can have a bit more of its good and bad areas, much more than turf. Not quite as hungry to just consume your knees during the match.
It's a little bit more giving.
I just saw left camera. You're good. I was just laughing. I just see like 3 spectators in front of our left camera. But all
That's
good.
all right.
Oh, dangerous ball here, top of the box. Guerrero, ball at his feet, finds it.
Tried to get that ball slotted into Guerrero and just not able to do so.
Yeah, it makes me stumble over all my words. Medina and Guerrero, they try to find that same connection that Poku and Poku have had tonight. Fortunately, can't quite find it. Do find the ball, though. Dalton finding a turnover, dangerous position. Room down this left side, outside the boot effort. Options here, has ball at the feet. Puts it to the top of the box. Oh, it's a shot coming out from Medina. Great goalkeeping from Rodriguez. It's played pretty centrally and low to him, but from that distance, you got to go down hard for that ball. And that is great goalkeeping from the Tempo number 1 to keep them level in this game. Sees the ball, says, I want no part of this, puts it out to the wing. Dalton able to pick up the counterattack. Villatoro, currently the only member of Dalton on the yellow card tonight. They're going to change things up, play a little bit down this right wing. Sanchez trying to find some room here, ends up playing it back around. Saldana available on this far side. Perez just swarmed by 3 members. You can tell who the pressing trigger in the midfield is, and his name is Perez. Now watch 3 people collapse on him. Finds the ball out to wide. Here's Saldana in open space. Sanchez once again in space. Guerrero's inside. He cuts under. Can't quite find the through ball. Well read from the defender. That's number 2, Gibbons for Tempo, who not only finds the stop, but also finds the big boot to put it on in behind. And as we are just 20 seconds away from the 45th minute, only time left to be played is stoppage time. Medina has some space at that back post. Offside flag goes up, but since it's controlled, it's going to be called anyway.
It was offside, just a hair.
Yeah.
But, man, it was another great save by Tempo's keeper.
I mean, I'll be completely straight with you. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of trying to play a ball over the defensive line of Tempo. You could definitely see that Medina needed a bit of a hop if he was going to get over that one, but we have seen some miscontrolled headers in before, so maybe that's the thought process there. But ball played through. Poku streaks forward, unable to get the ball away from his feet. Ball saved by Mendez. That was Antonini, his first real shot on goal tonight. You can't call from an offsides when you played the ball as a defender. That looked like a defensive clearance that just dribbles out to the feet of Antonini. It looks like we're going to get a quick look at that one.
Yeah, look at this here real quick. You can see the defender pushes the ball forward. They're trying to ask for...
You can't... That's not how offsides works.
Yeah, you're trying to ask for the offsides, but that's not how you're going to get it.
All right. Something was
the AR, I believe, called a goal kick.
Well, either way, ball's in. We'll get you an update on that, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we know, but we don't.
Oh, I believe he's calling offsides. I believe is what he's calling. He's calling.
Oh, off the initial. I mean, it
Off
looked
that-
like it came off of Sanchez. And offside's obviously a little bit tricky sometimes, especially when the defender's involved.
Yes.
I think if the ball was legitimately played by Poku, yes, Antonini is definitely offsides. But if it was aggressively played by Sanchez, he's not offsides. But then it comes down to, well, was it actively being played by him? Ball down this left side. Sanchez finding some space. Lays it off to Saldana. Saldana into the midfield once more. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, 45 minutes gone in regulation, 45 left to go. And Tennessee Tempo currently lead Dalton United here at home, up just outside Nashville, Tennessee, here at the Siegel Complex. You're watching ASMG's coverage of the UPSL National Championships, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of regulation. And the lights are out, ladies and gentlemen, here at Siegel Complex, just south of Nashville, Tennessee, under some very ominous-looking clouds. Nothing in the sky just yet, but we'll keep you posted. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ASMG's coverage of the UPSL National Championships, as Tennessee Tempo currently lead Dalton United 2-1 here at home in a thrilling matchup. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great start to your 4th of July weekend. So far, with what we've been seeing right now, I mean, Larry, I don't think there's a better place to be.
Not a place I would rather be on this beautiful holiday weekend, and I think that we are about to have a fireworks show and a half this second half.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenally back and forth game so far. I think Tennessee Tempo have certainly earned their lead here tonight. But it's a game of beautiful moments and a game of ugly ones. Some absolutely inspired, especially midfield play from both teams. But first comes to mind Poku and Poku from Tempo's number 10 and number 8 respectively have just been putting on a clinic here tonight of 1-2 passing. Have really been a problem for the backline of Dalton to show. Dalton have had a few chances, especially top of the box and down that left-hand side. But I think it is currently on them to figure out, how do we deal with this? How do we stop this high-powered attack coming through from Tempo? And I don't know if that's going to be an easy answer.
No, like you said, like we were saying in the first half, you can really see the center back that had to change out because of the red card has really changed. Sanchez having to be back there on that back line, it's really kind of changed it up as we see the wind is really picked up.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're definitely heading into a bit of a storm here. We'll keep an eye on the radar and keep you guys updated because we have played a half. If for some reason we did have to be called off here pretty soon, we would be able to restart this game from halftime. I believe you have to get past the 70th minute before we are able to call a full game. But, yeah, looks like plenty of people clearing out. We'll keep you guys posted on the situation as it develops. But, yeah, very interesting circumstances up here in Tennessee. Dalton look like they're going to take the field. A little bit of lightning in the background. So, once again, we'll keep you guys posted as the situation develops. But, yeah, let's take a bit of a step back and look at the national championship picture. We are in that round of 32. The winner of this match will, of course, be moving on to play against the winner of the North Carolina and South Carolina teams that are currently doing battle later this weekend. As you can see, we do have a bit of a regional system. So down here in the bottom right of your screen, you'll see the southern region. I believe it's either south or southeast. So the top 4 in the nation will be moving on to the national finals on August 4th to 6th, with the winner not only getting a nice cash prize as well as the national championship title, but they will also be getting a ticket directly into the first round of the United States Open Cup proper, not the qualifying rounds. They get the red carpet treatment right into the main event.
Yeah, that's just a massive, massive successful win for the UPSL, UDA Soccer, and Tennessee Tempo, the 2 teams from last season that made it into the qualifying rounds of the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be directly into it. They're not going to have to fight their way through.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, as we get kicked off, I think there are 2 teams with the same hope but very different expectations coming in. Dalton United, of course, they're the hot new thing from Georgia. Very exciting team in the tournament. Tennessee Tempo, they may have a new coat of paint, but it's the same good old engine underneath that is used to competing for national titles here. This is a squad that was very much specifically put together to take a run at the biggest trophy in the land here of UPSL. And I think they're going to be disappointed if they do not hold this lead up against Dalton. They have the lead, but let's see if they can hold down the fort here at Siegel Complex. Just a reminder, if it is tied after full time, we will go to extra time, followed by PKs as needed. But it is still a journey if Dalton United want to bring us there, because they're still trailing, and they've still got questions to answer on the defense. Hefty wins out here, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off. I'd be curious to see what effect that has on the ball in some long ball situations. Ball played up top. Great header on. Finding some space there on the right flank is Tempo. Tempo driving around that right side, puts it out behind Mendez. Able to paw that one away, as it will be going out for a corner kick. And just look at that corner flag ripple.
Yeah, the wind has really, really picked up. The storm is about a county and a half away, but we're definitely feeling the part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stormy night for a stormy matchup. Ball played, dips. That looked like the wind just took that one and threw it back to the earth. Big ball played over top. Not quite going to find Pater, but does find the corner. Good turn, good better. Push away. That's Guerrero. Able to show Tempo the door out. Garcia, who is the only member of the Tennessee Tempo to currently be sitting on a yellow card going into the second half. Big throw in played. Almost finds the head of Antonini, but doesn't quite find it. Poku putting us right around back as the sustained pressure continues. The Tempo are looking to raise that tempo. Finds Lopez, back out. Ball in, top of the box. Mishandled. Guerrero on the back line. He finds a clearance. Who put him back there? A little bit of a change in the formation potentially, as Guerrero maybe slipping in a little bit to that wing-back position. Sanchez makes his way to the top of the formation, so already one of Kiko's adjustments for the second half. Maybe an attempt to get Guerrero into a bit more of space. Stolen away in the midfield. Dalton driving down the other way, trying to play it back around, but are unable to find that finesse that Tempo are currently playing with. Antonini, double teamed. High boot.
And all puns intended, Tennessee has stepped the tempo up.
Oh, I made that joke at least 3 times tonight. You're in good company there. But
they've really put the pressure on Dalton these first few minutes of the second half.
As far as commentary goes, that's like the space in the middle of the bingo board, but certainly not misused in the slightest. Dalton, win back possession, still favoring the long kicks. Header, not really controlled. Sanchez is a little bit confused as to why no one's on the back end of that one, but I still have this feeling that long ball headers may not be Dalton's strength in this matchup, but it is still the avenue of choice. Villatoro now playing on the near side as we have switched fields. Dalton United, they're still in the black and red kits going from left to right across your screen. Tennessee Tempo, the home side, the favorites coming into this. They're in the all reds going from right to left across your screen. Turning to the inside, still favoring that left wing. Perez playing that into the midfield, finds top of the box. Speedily sent out of the back there from Tempo's number 15, Badai, who really has been putting in quite a shift both ways. Falls to some feet. Number 3 takes the shot just a bit outside. Sanchez, one of the heroes,
kind of pushed it up as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're not kidding, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very windy. If you look at the flags, if you look at tents down here on the touchline right in front of us, it is a very windy night. I think that will definitely favor the short ground passing. However, it may also help out some of those long shooters that can almost like artificially knuckle the ball. Medina in a lot of space, takes the turn, looks for the layoff all the way to the far side, rips the shot. It's just up high. Dalton still searching for the equalizer. Unable to find it just yet, but last few minutes they're searching. Ball played out. It looks like a bit of a conference has been called between the two defenders of Tempo, potentially trying to figure out whose responsibility that was. Hopefully
We'll take a look at that replay real quick.
Yeah,
you
Dalton,
can see here this great ball in, all slotted all the way over to the left side. He takes the rip, and it's just pulled high.
Yeah, just can't find it. But now look, Antonini on the other side. Aggressive challenge from Villatoro. Pulls the free kick once again. Villatoro, one of the more important defenders on the side of Dalton. And again, he's on a yellow card. He's now had at least 2 fouls called against him since the yellow card. And I know it worked for them last time somehow. The last thing Dalton needs right now is to get a double yellow send-off. So hopefully he's able to keep his head. Corner kick, in-swinger, coming around. top of the box, headed away. Looked like it found the head of a member of Tempo, and referee seems to agree. So that'll be a throw-in for the side of Dalton. Number 21 looks like getting on the end of that. That's Penagos. Villatoro. Long throw above. Dalton are playing pretty far back in the midfield, so when they have these big balls up top, they kind of need to wait for the cavalry, for the reinforcements to kind of join that attack. Playing it up top, Medina tries for the flick on. Can't quite find Sanchez with it, but does find Tempo. Guerrero, high boot. Seen a few of those here tonight, but this time may have made contact. Looks like with number 21, Penagos. Don't think it was malicious, but depending on what the referee sees, could be grounds for a card. It was a boot that looked like it hit the face. It is going to be the referee's discretion. Guerrero really hasn't been sanctioned here tonight, so at the very worst, I feel this could be a yellow card for the Golden Boot winner. Referee's going to call for the...
I believe that he did yellow
Oh,
card.
there it is. Right now, showing the yellow card caution to number 7. That's Golden Boot winner Guerrero. So now 2 yellow cards will be in the back of the mind for the Dalton coach, Kiko Rodriguez. 1 in the front, 1 in the back. I mean, to be fair, any time ahead is, put into danger. Very important, especially in today's game. We get that checked. Don't want any players with any sort of head injuries continuing on. I think that's, as much as I don't think it was a reckless, I don't think it was a bit reckless. It wasn't malicious, but you just got to protect the players. You got to protect the head. 21 looks to be subbing off the pitch. He's had his night here in the 52nd minute of play. So once again, that's number 21 for the Tempo subbing off. Now to play everyone's favorite game show. Who's subbing on? Looks like that player is at the touch line, joining the field. Will be joining the attack most likely. Penagos was listed as a forward and has been playing as such, so expect to see a bit of a like-for-like replacement here. His replacement takes a brisk jog onto the other side. It looks like it can't be number 10, number 20. That's number 20, Abadiore, coming into the match in the 51st minute of play. We'll have to see how he slots in on this right side. Ball played over the top. He gets his first touch of the game. Fortunately, falls to the feet of Saldana. Saldana plays it back up. Good ball over top. Number 3, that's Sanchez running wide here. Oh, he tries to put one on goal, sees the keeper out of his box, but just can't get the ball under him. And it looks like Saldana's got a few words for his winger.
And he wanted to exploit that keeper being out of the box, just not able to do so. Just couldn't get his foot under it.
Sanchez getting a talking to, I don't know what for. Maybe just, maybe a few unfriendly words came out of his mouth when that ball went wide. But no action taken by the referee. Officiating crews. Feels like they've had a pretty firm grasp on the game tonight. Really haven't noticed them that much, and honestly, that's kind of the best thing you could ask for out of a refereeing crew. When they kind of fade into the background, that's how you know they're doing their job the best. So congrats to them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But in the UPSL where everyone's here developing on commentary, in the broadcast, on the pitch, in the coaching zone, and with the refs. So always great to see some very solid performances from the officiating crew. Held up in the midfield, a bit of a high touch. Poku putting on a bit of a dribbling exhibition. Plays it out wide.
It's a hard job. At the end of the day, there's always going to be someone upset at them.
Yeah, that's substitute number 20, Abdore. Dispossessed. Referee thinks that Guerrero played that out, so ball will be a throw in for Tempo.
Kind of looked like he was out of the box, or he was off the pitch.
I think you're right, but once again, referee's got the view on the game, and given that we don't really have a VAR system here, we kind of just got to go with what's given to us. Ball played into the box, offside position, trying to break the lines. Lopez trying to lay that one up to his front man. not quite going to find it in the way that he wants.
Good trap there.
I don't even think it was much of a trap. I think he was looking for the ball in the first play. It ends up going to Lopez, who by the time Lopez gets it, the striker's already in offside position.
Yeah, that's true.
Missed position handling in the midfield. Poku's on the ball with some room to play, takes the step, plays it one more time. Now here comes Dalton. Poku, outside of the foot effort with the left foot. Doesn't quite find the net. If any of these strikers get the ball on target from this distance and this wind, it's just going to knuckle. Like, I don't care if you hit it with the most spin in the world. It's going to scare the keeper. And that really could be a huge goal either way. Of course, this is the exact situation minus a red card that we saw Dalton in their match last time. I believe actually it was the same position Tempo were in, but on the other side, Tempo were trailing St. Louis until they found the 2 goals late in the game to go ahead and take the Kentucky-Tennessee title again. And, of course, that game took place right here. So
Dalton playing with urgency.
Yeah, I mean, 56 minutes into the game, there is still time left, but there's not a lot of time left. And thankfully for them, they are only trailing by 1. They don't have to do that much more, but they do need to find at least a goal. Dribbling through the center here. Perez, good spin, gets a nice reaction from the crowd. Poku coming back, ends up winning the ball. Dalton stepping, trying to find something high up the pitch, goes all the way out to the goalkeeper. Rodriguez plays that to the right side over the head clearance. Repossessed by Dalton. Poku on the ball. Poku plays that wide to his left back. It's number 16 on that left side. That's Garcia, who is the yellow card member of Tempo at the moment. Poku playing it up to that right wing. Driving to that flag. Options in the box. Options top of the box. Clearance. Oh, it's poor. He's got space in the box. He turns it to the inside. Can he get the shot? Oh, it's just outside. The touch and the turn just lets him down as the crowd's cheering. Nearly breaks my monitor.
Well, you have to look at this because talk about all hands on deck defense. A mistake there by the defender.
It's number 17 again.
Turns, just pulls it wide.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, was that number 25 from Tempo, I believe? If that's number 25, there's been an additional substitution because that would be Gooden. So, yeah, that is number 25. So Gooden has joined the game. We'll have to see who subbed off to replace him. Once again, number 20, Abdore, was the substitute for the injured number 21, Panagos. Now that I'm looking, I don't actually see Antonini on the pitch. So it looks like Antonini's day is over, which I'm going to be honest, is a bit of a surprise to me. So it looks like a straight substitution. Number 25, Gooden, is slotting in as the number 9 striker. Antonini, target man extraordinaire. He's going to be finding the bench early in this match. Playing up. Poor challenge. Abadore wins the free kick. Referee, a few choice words. Villatoro, I believe, is getting his absolute... Somebody's getting a talking to. Someone is getting a very strict talking to. Hand on the shoulder. Pat on the shoulder.
You see that?
That's a little concerning.
Time, you always see that when you see those hands go apart last time.
Yeah. That's not even. That's not Villatoro. That's Saldana, I believe, number 17. Or Villalobos, number 18. That's somebody. Yeah, it's Villalobos, number 18. He's not currently on a card. God, look at that wind. It just stops that ball. Referee calling a foul there. But yeah, you just saw it. Looks like the wind currently, ladies and gentlemen, is blowing from left to right across your screen as that lob through ball just died. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication in the back. Villalobos able to play that ball up. He's going to start to run down that left-hand side. Doesn't quite make it through. Fighting on his way back. Tempo driving into the midfield. Finds number 25. Aggressive tackle, but still possessed. Gooden almost taken down there, but able to maintain his time on his feet. Gooden trying to find that ball. What was that? That is a cardable slide tackle. I don't know who that's from. A referee very quickly going to be awarding the red card caution. I see the player. I just need to see the back of his jersey, and I can tell you who it is. But that looks like just a through the back of the legs sliding challenge.
We'll take a look at that.
Let me know if you see the number on that.
You can see here, fought off it. Oh, just a horrible sliding challenge.
Yeah, and that's number 15. That's Badai. Thank you, of course, to our lovely colleagues up here in the box from the Tennessee Tempo for helping us spot that one. He's had a hell of a night. He's been going up and down this right wing, you know, doing work on both ends. Found some room around the corner, but that was a malicious challenge. Maybe just like a lazy or a reckless, but it was a very bad sliding challenge. Good to see that Dalton are going to be able to continue with their men on the pitch. No substitutions required just yet. Mendez standing over this free kick. 62 minutes gone in this contest. Referee, did he just give another yellow card? That took a while.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Villatoro playing this down. Guerrero, who's now in that right wing back position, he's driving infield. Tries to find that threaded through ball. Doesn't quite find it. Sanchez now leaving it for Guerrero. Guerrero, beautiful ball across the box, headed away. Guerrero tries to get on the back end of it. Still a little bit of a heart in your mouth kind of moment for the back line of the Tennessee Tempo, but they are able to put it behind for a corner kick. Number 6 takes it short. Here's Guerrero once again. Guerrero lays it back off. Sanchez trying to find its way onto the ball. Just skies it.
That was a slice and a half, like you were on the 10th tee.
Yeah, I mean, remember, the wind is blowing in the direction of the Tempo's goal, so you really don't need to put too much on it. Substitution looks like queued up here for Dalton. Number 6, potentially, leaving the game, so that'd be Sanchez making his way off the pitch.
It looks like number 7, Guerrero, is coming off.
No. Who came
Yes.
off? Oh, my God, he is. Guerrero's gone. In the 63rd minute of the game, Guerrero leaves. Who came in?
Number 10.
Okay, so number 10 is Herrera. He played a pretty big role. I believe he got one of the closing goals there.
He did get one of the goals. He got the first goal, and Sanchez got the second goal, I believe.
That's correct.
He got the final goal in the match last week.
Yeah, goal scorers from last week were Saldana, Sanchez, and Herrera. Herrera, we certainly thought was going to have a role to play here tonight as the super sub. Guerrero, as you mentioned, really hasn't gone into the game. What are you seeing, Larry?
Number 18's coming off for Tempo.
Okay, that's a Tempo. We'll have to see what the substitution here is going to be. Mike Jones coming into the game. 67th minute to play. He's going to be replacing number 7. Looks like Lopez, who is on a goal here tonight. He's going to be getting a sending off. Four substitution taken out from Tennessee Tempo. Launched out of the backfield. Big ball over the top. Space to run. Held up off the bounce. Good header. Options available. Jones tries to make his way through. Called for the foul. Dalton potentially bailed out of a dangerous situation as these substitutes for Tempo are making immediate impacts. But now Dalton are going to work the other way. Here's number 8, Perez, driving through the midfield. Options out wide. Alexico center. Dispossessed Medina on the ball. Man down on the far side. Player still down on the ground. Dalton continued the attack regardless. Villatoro looks like he's going to wait for the man down. That's someone up top. He is not getting up quickly. If anything, it's going to have to be the linesman who takes a... He talks about this one. Dalton's fans are very unhappy. Fortunately, don't see exactly what happened, but I looked up, and all of a sudden, number 3, Sanchez, was just on the ground. Ball held up from Villatoro. And keep in mind that this is Dalton United still chasing the game here. Important to note, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on the clock. 68 minutes played, technically 70, I believe, is what we need.
That lightning, I think, might have been close. We might get we'll see.
Well, this is going to be curious because I think it's 70 minutes we need to play for a full game of record to be called. If we do not meet 70 minutes,
yep.
I believe it goes back to halftime.
They are going to do a drop ball for that
yeah.
injury, it looks like is what they're going to do.
Yeah, Villatoro was in possession when he basically signaled to the ref that he wanted to hold up to let Sanchez get back up. Villatoro will play us back, and we're underway. 69 minutes passed. We are 1 minute away from that magic time that would end the game should a weather condition shut us out here. That's only, of course, if the game's unable to be restarted. Ball played across the box. Not going to find its way through traffic, but does take a touch. Played out for a Dalton corner kick. 69 minutes on the clock. Short corner available to Dalton. Lining up for this one. A lot of bodies for Dalton at the top of this box. Crashing in, ball in. Oh, goalkeeper gets a paw to it. Can't quite put it away, but Dalton unable to rip a shot. 10. Puts the ball up, and it just, oh! It's batted away. I don't think it's actually gone out.
That was amazing
huh?
because it went straight up in the air and caught in the wind.
It's called a throw-in for the Tennessee Tempo.
Now, that's a little interesting because it was the
and it looks like,
that
ladies and
called
gentlemen,
it.
we're going to call a lightning delay, I believe. Look at what the clock stopped at. 69 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, we will have to go by whatever the official has, as this is the unofficial timer up here. But what a James Bond clock stop that would be if that's actually where we're at. We'll have to get back with our we'll have to get Andre on the line to be our rule book aficionado. We'll see if he can call in or give us a quick message as to what the situation looks like. But as far as we're aware, the game has now been stopped in the 69th minute of play.
Generally speaking, there will be a 30-minute stoppage time as they assess the weather, and then they will attempt to get it kicked back off.
Gotcha. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at ASMG covering the UPSL National Championship. As much as we do love working alongside the UPSL, the top brass at the UPSL will know the rules far better than we do. So we'll keep you updated as the situation progresses. And if, of course, we got any lovely top brass in the comments, get in touch with Andre, let us know what's going on, and we'll be happy to keep this crowd nice and informed. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, what we can tell you is this. It looks like our match here at Siegel Complex, Dalton versus Tennessee, with just over 20 minutes left to go in regulation, will be stopped for the time being. Blair, any thoughts you got before we throw this to an unforeseen weather break?
Well, you started to see that frantic work by Dalton. They were trying everything that they could to get that tying goal. They're in that desperation mode.
Yeah. And if there's one thing we learned last week, Dalton versus Atlanta United, it may be a little bit different here because they are on opposition soil. They're not at home. They're not up in Dalton, Georgia, but they have the clutch gene. They are able to find goals when they need the most. They've been a little bit frantic as of late to put shots up. I don't really think I've seen one besides that very interesting chip attempt right there at the end.
Yeah, and that ball just kind of went straight up in the air.
Here, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, cutting Larry off because I think we're getting some more info. Oh, that is an interesting setup. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we're going to the indoor stadium to finish this match. I guess that is a very unique option we have here, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back to you with how we are going to cover that. We're going to be throwing it to a break right now, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully we'll be able to get you to the end of the game, but do stick around. We'll let you guys know what happens.
Larry. Larry, can you hear me? Okay, let's go. Tell me when. Go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a very fun edition of the UPSL National Playoff. Steven Johnson and I have just run 3 times across to bring you the conclusion of this game in radio format. 14 minutes left to go here in the second half. Dalton United still trail Tennessee Tempos inside 2-1. Here, I think I lost you. Yellow. Okay. Either way, thank you for sticking around, ladies and gentlemen. There's 13 minutes left to go as we've gone to the indoor stadium here at Tennessee Tempos. Dalton trying to work their way into the box. Good ball played across from number 10, Herrera. Late substitution, but Dalton are on the field coming the other way. Number 12, Dalton on the ball. Gomez was up into that. Trying to play ball over top into an 8-yard space. 1-on-1 through with the keeper. Defender tries to clear it away. Number 25 just off the ball. Dispossessed by Herrera. Good ball play back to the feet. Taken out to the wide area by Herrera. Goes around. Puts the ball back the other way. Tennessee Tempo continue their push for the win here. Another substitution coming in. We have missed quite a few minutes. So do apologize for any substitutions we may have missed, but we're doing our best here to bring conclusion to this match in a fashion that hopefully would make Jason Longshore a company proud. Throw incoming here from Tennessee Tempo. They're trying to play down this right side. Strong challenge attempted by number 23, won by Dalton. Number 3, of course, being Lalini, came into the 64th minute of this match. 12 minutes left to go on the clock. Dalton plays wide to the left side. Driving down the far side, looking inside, no option available, but Tempo giving him room. Makes it to the edge of the area, back to the defense. Number 17, Saldana on the ball, putting it into the midfield. Options available, driving to the center. That's Perez. Goes around the first man, laid off to the back of the left corner. Not quite going to find it in time. Goal kick earned by the Tennessee Tempo. That seems to be number 11, Itunda. I believe he's joined the game now, late into this matchup on that left wing. He's the one to throw down the left side, but unable to find any pater in the center of the pitch. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the audio quality. We are on a remote broadcast at this point. A little bit. Hopefully that's getting better, but with just 11 minutes on the clock, Tennessee Tempo are doing all they can to milk off the minutes before they move on to the round of 16. Ball played down the right side, held up by number 25, Gooden. Ends up going out in favor of Tempo as they're able to continue the pressure on that right side. Number 12, checking in, Gomez. Ball goes all the way out to the back, controlled by the Dalton defense, and Mendez boots us up the pitch down the left side. Medina unable to get under it. Number 5 goes for it. Amandi, who's had quite a game, gets the ball away, able to play it into Medina. There will be a Tennessee Temple throw-in from the halfway line. Another ball played up top, handled, headed, not into a safe zone. 25 getting around the ball. Tempos trying to control that midfield, dispossessed. Dalton. Perez on the ball. He's got options to his right. Takes the options. Saldana driving as the walls are rattling here inside the Tempo Stadium. Absolutely going crazy, driving on this left side. That's number 11 once again tries for a ball across. I think that actually hits Villatoro on the way through. One thing actually to defenders. Dalton United regained possession on that left-hand side. Out to the back line. Played back left side. Still in defense. Progressing down the side. Makes its way to Atunda. Atunda back into the midfield. Hernandez. Now over to Perez. Perez plays to his right. Has options. Lays it off all the way down that right side. Number 5. Dispossessed. Should be going out for a corner. Good play there from Dalton. I don't have number 5 in my books. I'll have to check the roster sheet we were given. Ball played across the corner. Handled by the backline Dalton. And now the counterattack may be on. Chance for an offside. Mendez comes streaming out of the back line. Plays it up top. Dalton with the first touch. Header, though. Second ball won by Tempo. Tempo down this left side, attacking into the midfield. Offers to the left, lays it off. Midfield triangle available to the left here. Down the left side comes Tempo. Herrera tries to get it, gets the ball and the man. Referee is going to call for a free kick. Dalton fans not exactly pleased with that call. Herrera gets called for the foul. Jones Jr. is taken down. Referee not producing any cards just yet. Dalton fans less than pleased with the call. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a corner kick and swinger. Wide position, 25-16 for Tempo's in the box. Ball comes in. Mendez, 2 fists to it. Controlled and skied from Dalton. Villatoro can't quite get under it. Takes it by number 23. Good defensive effort. Here comes Poku. Poku dribbling his 2 numbers on him. Plays it all the way back. That could be danger. Dalton unable to win possession. Tempo back in control. Long ball now to the attacking right side. Intercepted. 17 dribbling the ball down this left-hand side for Dalton. Trying to cut it either way. Can't quite find it. Saldana lays it off. All the way to the corner flag. Here's number 11. Over to 24. Chance. Rips. Just over the bar. Saldana. Fed in by Hatunda. Just can't find it. And Rodriguez is saved a little bit by a shot that goes a little high. Looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I think we're working through some audio issues. Hopefully Larry will tell me whether you guys hear me anymore. Taking his sweet time. Rodriguez is eating at least a minute off the clock here. Big ball played over top. Referee calling a foul of some sort. Saying a tip of some sort. 4 minutes down. Rodriguez still to play. Big ball down this left-hand side. Trying to find number 19. Goes shoulder to shoulder. Jones not able to find the ball, but out here he may find it through. Defensive slide coming through from number 18. Ball play down the line. Trying to find Villatoro, who really is just playing the entirety of the attack now for Dalton. Switch the play. Dalton move it to the left-hand side of the attack. 17, Saldana. Lays it off. Itunda plays it back into the center. Intercepted by number 4 of the Temple, Belito. Another late substitution in this matchup. Stolen away, Dalton. Unable to maintain possession. Dalton recovered the ball right around the midfield mark. Laying it off. Dalton building around the back. Saldana, number 17, holding on the ball. 19 now. Perez tries to get the ball up to 24. Can't quite find its way through. Laying it off to Tunda once again in that left-handed space in the attack. Laying it back once more. Trying to find some feet in the midfield. Unable to find it. Ball launched from Tempos with 2 minutes 40 left to go on the clock. Herrera playing out of this right side of the defense. Dribbles us into the midfield. Uncontested so far as Tempos are just in an absolute park the bus situation. Switching the ball, picked up by Perez. Perez laying it off down the left-hand side, able to take the ball around his man. Dalton puts a ball up and across the box. Saldana rips a shot. Close range. Rodriguez able to eat that one up with the gut. And Rodriguez now with 2 minutes left to go on the board is going to push up this right-hand side. A ball played out almost immediately. 2 minute warning situation. Dalton regained possession, middle of the pitch. Number 19, Perez, playing the ball across, finds Herrera. Herrera was a hero in the last matchup with the late substitution. Villatoro playing on the right wing, feeds it back. Still playing around the edge of the area, just trying to penetrate the zone. Plays it back once again. 19 places the ball all the way across. Maybe a little bit too much on it. No, just enough as it makes its way to the left-hand side. Itunda plays the ball across, headed off the line by a member of the defense. Dalton still maintained possession. Play to this right wing. Villatoro cuts inside. Left-footed effort, maybe. No, dispossessed. Dalton going back the other way. Tempos, it's Poku. Dribbling through the midfield. Has support on the right-hand side. Number 25, again, getting on the ball. Dispossessed, and Dalton once again in the middle of the park. Trying to find penetration now down that right-hand side. Number 5, looking for the zone. 24, back to 5. Can't quite cut it in. Here's Perez on the ball, edge of the box. Plays a cheeky chip ball through. Takes a side volley effort. Number 15. Can't quite find the net for Dalton. As we continue. 54 seconds on the clock, but it looks like the indoor clock has stopped here for the Tempos. We are relying on the officials now to tell us how much time is remaining in the match. Rodriguez plays the ball over the top. Finds its way to 19. Jones Jr. dribbling down the right side, lays it off to Gooden. Gooden finishing in on goal. One man to get past. Has the option top of the box. Trying to lay off number 4, but no. Gooden still on the ball. Players calling for it, but he's just trying to eat time away, and he does. Still able to maintain possession of the ball. Number 12, 1-on-1 the keeper. Could it be? It's a save! Huge save coming from Mendez, 1-on-1. able to keep the last hope of Dalton United FC in this match. Villatoro launches an attack now. Playing into the center of the park, number 18 on the ball, dispossessed. But Dalton, Perez able to get possession back. Perez putting on the dancing shoes through the middle of the park. Unable to maintain possession. Free kick right at the top of the center circle for Dalton. Poku taking his time delivering the ball to the official. Perez lining up over this. No, it's number 19. It's Perez. Plays it out wide, number 17, in the half space. Laying it out. Far post. Katunda. Katunda tries to rock the one in, deflects off a defender. Will go behind for a corner kick. Mendez is being called up. It's all or nothing here from Dalton. They have the open net. They need the miracle goal. Lining up, it looks to be an outswinger. Number 19's back in defense, but everyone else is up and forward. Doesn't clear the first man. Big ball played over top. It's just going to soar all the way out of bounds for a throw in Tennessee tempo. And there could be precious few minutes and moments left here in the match, ladies and gentlemen. It's all up to the referee now. Tennessee tempo lead at home, 2-1. Only stoppage time to go, separating them from their round of 16. Well earned in this case. Maybe one last gasp attack available for Dalton, but no. Poku, surrounded by three members, tries to dribble through. No support, no dice. Perez, number 8 on the ball, lays it off to Perez, 17. Down this right-hand side. It's under to his left. Cuts in. Plays it softly across the box. Perez puts the ball across number 10. Herrera, ball at his feet. Rips a shot. Hits the defender on the way through. Tempo able to gain possession of the ball. Gooden to Poku on the right side. Plays it back inside. Enough time for Dalton to collect. 19 back on the ball. Perez playing it up. Number 8 thrown to the ground. Dalton will get another free kick, but once again, it's only from the top of the center circle. Picked up once more. Dalton dribbling into the midfield. 19 on the ball. Playing it into the midfield feed. Here's Villatoro. He's dispossessed. Mendez on the halfway line. He regains possession. 1 minute shown by the referee. Mendez rips the ball to the far zone on the left-hand side. Here comes Atunda. Ball played out. It might be it, ladies and gentlemen. The last corner. The last chance for Dalton United FC here at the Tennessee Tempos. Everyone is up. Mendez, shoulder to shoulder with the other goalkeeper. Here comes the outswinger from the left-hand side. Ball goes in. It's in the middle. Rising is number 24, but it goes over the bar. Dalton United, the referee checks the watch. It's not over yet, but we just can't be that far away. Saldana able to rise to the occasion, get ahead to it, but unfortunately can't keep it down. Big ball played over. Controlled. Dalton, midfield center circle. Bouncing ball over top. Villatoro, back to goal. No, ball played out. Tempo's able to regain possession. Mendez, he's going to take the ball himself. He's dribbling. He's at the midfield line. Nobody coming to stop him. Ball played once again. Deep left defensive zone. Headed away. Going to go out for another throw-in for Dalton. No, may have actually been. It's been a roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen, no matter which way you look for it. Dalton looked good, but Tempos, they looked great here tonight. Broadcast. It started on the pitch. It ended here in the big house. But Tennessee Tempos, at the end of the day, will be your winners here tonight. Toss it back to you in the booth. But ladies and gentlemen, if he's not there, maybe he's got a few words to say you out. But for me personally, and maybe for all of us here at ASMG, thank you very much for watching. And I can't wait to see you next week. Hopefully we get another shot to watch the Tennessee Tempos because they brought something special here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'll throw it out either to the end or to Larry. Larry, up to you. Have a good night and a happy 4th of July.
And thank you for everyone that tuned in. Unfortunately, we had a massive storm in the 70th minute, and where we're at here at Richard Siegel Complex, it went indoors to finish out the remaining 30 minutes or 20 minutes of the match. It ends 2-1, Tennessee Tempo over Dalton United. They move on to the next round. They will play the winners of the match tomorrow between Arlington SA and South Carolina United Heat. Who moves on from there? They will take on Tennessee Tempo FC. We'll see if who will be home and who will be away. That match will be the next that will be on. We'll also look at the matches that UPSL has to put on for the remainder of this holiday weekend. Tomorrow, San Diego Internacional will take on CD Delfines del Absolo in the round of 32 on the west side. Down in Florida, Lakeland United FC will take on City Soccer FC on Sunday. So definitely tune in to the UPSL Soccer YouTube channel to catch all of those matches in their full. Again, apologize for just the absolute craziness of this match. You can see the rain still just pouring down. 70th minute, Tennessee Tempo up 2-1. Game is called due to lightning for outdoor play. It's moved indoors to the stadium right next and kicked back off from the 70th minute. Tennessee Tempo able to hold on for those last 20 minutes plus stoppage time. You heard some of the call from Steven Johnson. That'll do it for us here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. For your winners, Tennessee Tempo FC, they move on to the next round, and we'll catch you next time on the UPSL YouTube channel.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.